about Simone Kessel, her interview with Variety, and they talked to her about Lottie's death, but it starts with her talking about after season 2, she was excited and could not wait to explore what Lottie would be like after she gets out of the psych ward, or even while she was in the psych ward as well. She had imagined channeling Jack Nicholson's character from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest through Lottie. For the next season, season 3, she even said that she would have shade her hair, but as we saw, none of that was true for season 3. Variety also asked her if she knew that her character was going to live or die in the season, and she said that the showrunners told her that they were a little bit reluctant on letting her know, and she persuaded them to tell her, but she said when she found out that she was brokenhearted because as she was just starting to get to know the character more and connect with it, they terminated her. She says that she doesn't really know what goes on in the writer's room. She doesn't know if they want a new cast member to join the adult timeline or if they just want the 3 main stars to stay at that number. And there is possible that there are a lot of other things for the exact reason of why she was killed off, because I do agree with Simone that she definitely had a lot more to show through her character, and I do think that she was snubbed short during season 3. But then Variety starts to ask her about questions about the story, and they ask her what was the true purpose of the necklace that she gave Callie, and she basically says the same thing, because she's the chosen one, and her being the daughter of Shauna, she can sense all the power in her. Like she calls her basically a product of the wilderness, and I'm not too sure what exactly she's meaning by that, but maybe it's just a way to, she could just be lying to Shauna, but we'll see in season 4 of exactly what that could be. But for me personally, this was my favorite season for the adult timeline in particular, and Lottie was super interesting in this season. She had a lot of mystery intrigue of what was going on with her, and it did feel like maybe they ran out of time or something with her story, because the next we see her apologizing in that mirror, and the next time we see her she's just dead. So I'm not really sure either or what they were doing in that writer's room, but I still enjoy the series nevertheless. And let me know what you all think about this and Simone Kessel's opinion on Lottie and stuff like that. And what do y'all think about the adult timeline? Is it falling behind? I know the teen timeline is pretty perfect right now, at least. But that's it for this video, and as always, there are a few topics that they discuss in this interview, and I wanted to focus on a couple, starting with the insight about how season 2 and season 3 were handled when it comes to the writing. She says that for season 1, they had a big pre-season meeting and got filled in on all of the information about the first season. She says that she and the showrunners talked about Shauna and how she was trying to be a normal person in the beginning of season 3, but we see that that gets shut down quickly because things just start to spiral out of control for her character. She then says that she would have really liked to explore that about her being a normal housewife for a little bit, and especially because she actually trusts Jeff now. But she then continues on to see that she does not really ask too many questions about the scripts and stories to the showrunners, because she says that they know what they're doing and she has faith and leaves it all up to them. But she does kind of like infer that the showrunners don't really have a solid script or story like they did for before the first season. She's kind of saying that the second and third season were both kind of just written along the way as they go. I will say though, I personally don't think Van and Lottie should have died so soon. It is very possible we will see these characters again, especially Van, because what we see when she's dying on the train that they crash in, her younger self is telling her that she basically has more stuff to do. But I felt that they were just starting to shine, and the performance by Lauren at the end of the season that she did talking to Melissa was probably her best performance in the show so far. But Mentally continues on and says that her and Simone have a project in New Zealand that they both are going to be in, so at least they have that together. And she also says that her adult castmates wish that they would have more time with Simone and Lauren as well. But she goes on to talk about how her and Sophie are the same wavelength when it comes to thinking about how Shauna acts and things like that when they are playing Shauna, and she does confirm that Shauna enjoys all the crazy things that they get into, because we hear adult Melissa say this to her, and now we know that she is right because of Melanie in this interview. But what do you guys think about all of this? I think she gave some much needed insights on what goes down behind the scenes. It was cool to learn all of. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another interview to talk about. The Hollywood Reporter interviewed Samantha Hararati, and I do apologize if I'm saying her name wrong, but she plays young Misty in the teen timeline. So let's go ahead and get into what she has to say about it. So they mainly talk about her moment in the finale when we get revealed to us what was the true meaning of her smile that we see in the pilot episode. And they asked Samantha what emotions she was feeling as she was recording that scene in the season 3 finale. She says that in the pilot, she originally felt like it was more of a I know something that you don't know kind of smile, because during the pilot she herself didn't really know what she was smiling for, but now in the finale she says it's more of a I told you so type of smile, and she hopes that the fans think they pulled it off correctly because she feels that they did. And she says that she felt during the finale scene that Natalie would get the job done, and she believed in her, and that was also some of the emotions that she felt during that smile as well. She's then asked if she knew that Mari would be the pit girl, and she says that she had no clue because she was told nothing, and she even thought Lottie was going to be the Antler Queen whenever they returned back to this scene, but it turns out that it was Shauna. She's then asked how much of the pit girl scenes were reshot and how much were reused from the pilot. She says that it's a bit of both, and how she sees it is that in the pilot it's them remembering how it happened, and in the finale this is the reality of it all. And I really like this point of view she makes. It, for me, it personally makes the final scene more interesting and more heavy, if that makes sense. It has more weight to it. But then they ask her, how does Misty deal with the guilt for breaking the transponder? And she says that Misty has always been capable of not holding that much guilt on herself, so she was able to cope with that pretty easily. She also even confirms that there are a lot of people in the past timeline that we haven't seen yet in the future. So I'm excited to see who they bring, but these are the main points that I wanted to discuss. So tell me what you all think about this behind the scenes look and interview from Samantha. And for those that would like to read the